Hello, this is Diana Jarvis from the Young Reporter Scheme, and today I'm speaking to Melissa Thorne, who did the scheme with us right back in 2011. It was impressive that Melissa managed to complete the scheme alongside undergoing hospital treatment, and sometimes she uploaded her articles while she was an inpatient, which was a huge achievement. Hello, Melissa, and welcome, and thank you for coming and talking to me today. You did the scheme about 10 years ago in 2011, which was our first year that we did an awards ceremony. Tell me a little bit about your experience of doing it.
It was a really interesting and exciting opportunity for me because I've been really interested in news for a long time, reading particularly, and this was my sort of first opportunity to really go out and research and write stories myself. And so I thought it was a really great opportunity. It kind of pushed me to go out into my local community and speak to people and get a better sense of what was going on and what it really meant to be a journalist. So I found it was a challenging process to try and fit it around schoolwork and other life things. I was undergoing cancer treatment at the time. Thankfully, I'm fine now. But it was something I had to fit in around some other things that were going on in my life.
Yes, it was really impressive for us because obviously you had done a lot of the articles from a hospital bed, which, is incredible to be able to do that whilst undergoing treatment. But you also managed during your time to interview Dominic Raab, the MP at the time. I mean, how was that?
Yeah, that was a very interesting experience because obviously he's quite well known now. But at the time he'd only just started as an MP really in the area for Esher and Moulton, which is where I grew up. And I think it was after that was the final piece I did as part of the scheme, and I'd sort of built up my confidence as it had gone along. And I had an idea that I would reach out to him and see if I could interview him. But I think I was at a point where I was just like, why not? I'll give it a go. See, they can only say no. And then ended up emailing I think it was his secretary, and I went and interviewed him at Portcullis House, right next to the House of Parliament.
I mean, it was really good because you won the interview for that particular piece, which was excellent. You also won with photography. You did some fantastic photographs of cars that had been graffitied, which was really, really good. I mean, was that something you were interested in at the time?
That was this Volkswagen car festival at Sandown Park, and it's something I've been aware of every year. It was very much a sort of event. You would see lots of Volkswagens just line all the streets, and so I kind of knew that growing up. So it was something I wanted to capture during the process. So I went out and I managed to see some spectacular cars. So it was more the kind of event and what it's meant for the community that I wanted to focus on in that piece.
They were, I mean, really, really impressive photographs, incredible. And then you left obviously school and went on to university. So what did you study whilst you were at university?
I studied English and French, as they were both subjects I really enjoyed and was interested in. And it involved a year abroad in Paris as well, so where I worked and did kind of publishing work and film work. And I thought that was, again, a really exciting opportunity to learn more about the world and do different things.
Yes, because you've had quite a lot of editorial experience. I can see from your CV that, you work for Lux Artists Limited, and, there's lots of editorial work. So tell me sort of about your journey from after leaving university.
So I think it was actually, it all kind of added together in some ways, because I think doing this scheme helped me have the confidence to apply for positions at university newspapers and magazines. So I was in my final year. I was an editor at the ISIS magazine, which is a long-running student magazine, and there were lots of editorial rounds, and I found that a really interesting process. And so then after that, I was offered a position just as a freelance editor for this for Another Gaze, which is a feminist film journal. And so I kind of kept going from there, and I've done more editorial work. I ended up doing a master's in Australia in literature. I sort of edited and wrote my own thesis. So writing and editing has been a really big part of my life.
So having done the Young Reporter, did that spur you on to do this? Had you thought about it before?
Yeah, I think it did. I think it's always something I was sort of interested in, but I think the Young Reporter gave me a bit of confidence to kind of keep going with it, especially as I received a couple of awards. That was a real boost. And then actually what I do now is I write for It's a local government think tank, and I report on council news. So that's again very local sort of stories. And I've at the same time I'm actually training for an NTCJ, the journalism qualification. So it's kind of come
Excellent.
full circle, really. Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
plan to do this as a full-time job once you've qualified with the NCTJ?
Yeah, that's the plan, I think. Yeah, that's what I would like to do. I think there's a lot of opportunities. I think I'm very interested in pursuing this kind of career.
No, that's excellent. It's nice to think that, you started the journey with us and sort of are continuing it basically. So for now, you're working for the local government. That's a full-time job, presumably, is it?
Yes, it's a full-time job. I started it right at the start of lockdown, so the whole time it's been remote. I've only seen sort of my colleagues on screens and things, which is a strange thing. But yeah, it's a full-time job, and yeah, I've learned a lot about local government, about which is very important. They're doing a lot, have very important roles to play at the moment. So yeah, but it's also quite a newsy job because I'm sort of look at kind of research different stories online and then summarize key stories for local government.
Well, you've certainly done a lot, and you've done really well since you did the scheme with us. And I really appreciate you talking to me today. I mean, it's really nice to sort of listen to students' journeys of how things have developed for them. And thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It's really lovely to talk.
This has been Diana Jarvis talking to Melissa Thorne.